Today's recipe is the apple scroll. So what we'll be needing for today's recipe: 1.5 cups of plain flour, a pinch of salt, 1 egg that's been whisked, 100 grams of reduced fat butter, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, half a cup of Natvia, a further 50 grams of low fat margarine. We've got half a cup of sultanas, 1 chopped up Granny Smith apple, half a cup of heated up warm milk, 1 tablespoon of Natvia, and 1 sachet of dried yeast. So we're going to be getting our warm milk, so it's half a cup of warm milk, 1 tablespoon of Natvia, and 1 sachet of dried yeast. Okay. So we'll whisk that slightly, just to combine. We're going to pop that in a warm place for 5 minutes, just to let the yeast start to activate. So what I've done is I've popped the oven on, and I'll now turn it off so it's just slightly warm, and we'll leave it in there for 5 minutes. So while we're doing that, we'll now mix up our dry ingredients for the pastry. So we've got 1.5 cups of plain flour, and a pinch of salt, we'll just sift that, and now we'll make a well in the centre, and we're just going to pop in our egg mixture. Okay, so we've got our yeast and milk mixture. We'll just whisk that a little and pop it in with our egg and flour. Whisk these around. And we're basically going to be creating a dough out of this mixture, and then we'll be kneading it together and then popping it in the fridge for about 15 minutes, and we'll have to do that around about 4 times. What I'll show you is we'll knead it and roll it out manually, and then for those of you like me who have a mixer, you can actually pop the dough hook on, and that will be a lot quicker as well. So we'll pop some flour on our board. It's always helpful to use the greaseproof paper, it makes it a lot less sticky. A little bit of flour on our hands as well, and just knead this for up to a couple of minutes. Now we'll roll it out roughly to the length of the board, so about 20 centimetres by 30 centimetres long. Okay, so we'll get the 100 grams of butter, it's the reduced fat butter, and we're just going to pop this down the middle of our pastry, and this will make it nice and light and fluffy in the middle. So we'll just fold this over, make sure it doesn't stick, and then we'll fold it over again. Okay, so now we're just going to roll this again. As I said, we'll start off rolling, and once we've rolled this a bit, then we'll pop it in the fridge for the first lot of 15 minutes, and then we'll also use our mixer as well. It's rolled out enough, so what we're going to do is just fold this over and over, and then we're going to pop it in the fridge for 15 minutes. So this is the first 15 minutes of proofing, which will activate the yeast again and make our coffee scrolls nice and fluffy. So pop this into some glad wrap, that nice and tight, flip it over, and we'll pop it in the fridge for the first 15 minutes. So our first 15 minutes is up, so what we're going to be doing is popping our pastry out on the board, and our options are we can either use the floured board and the floured rolling pin, and roll it out again, fold it over twice, roll it again, fold it over twice, and then pop it back in our Glad wrap in the fridge for 15 minutes. Or what we're going to do today is actually pop the pastry in our mixer and put this on medium speed for about 30 seconds. So what we're doing is stretching all of the yeast and actually increasing the elasticity in the coffee scroll. And we'll just basically gather that together. And we'll pop that back in the fridge. So we're going to repeat this process 2 more times after this. So we'll pop that in the fridge and we'll come back after the 3rd time. Pastry has been improving, so we'll just get that out of the fridge. We'll pop that there for a sec. Okay, so we're now going to mix our ingredients, our 1 apple, which has been sliced, and also the 1/2 cup of sultanas. We've also got 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. We're just going to mix that together. Okay, so this is our pastry that's proven now. So you can see it's a lot larger, so it's risen quite a bit, which is great. Okay, so now I'm just going to roll this out. So we'll start by pressing it. It's almost like pizza dough. We're just really going to press it out so it's about the width and length of your board, so about 20 centimetres times 30 centimetres. Actually, that's almost pretty good. So you can roll it or just press it out. That pressing out is fine. Okay, so we've now got our 50 grams of non-fat butter. We're just going to pop this along our scroll pastry. And we've also got 1/2 cup of nat veer. So we're just going to sprinkle this right across. Alrighty, and we're just going to pop our mix. So the apple and cinnamon sultanas, just pop those roughly in the middle and we'll spread it out a little bit more. Okay, so our aim is to be able to roll this up, plus also make sure we have the dried fruit up to the sides as well. So we're going to be making 12 apple scrolls out of this. And just on the long edge, just fold that over slightly. And you can use the greaseproof paper as well, so it doesn't start to stick. So just roll that across. It's a little sticky, make sure you just pop a little bit of flour there. Okay. Just a little bit more flour there. Alrighty. So we're going to be making 12 out of this. So I'll just cut this right down the middle. And we'll cut this in the middle again. Okay. I'll put some cooking spray on our greaseproof paper on the tray. And also what I've done is I've had the oven just warming slightly. So I had it at 100 degrees for about 5 minutes and now I've completely turned it off. So what these need to do is we actually pop these on the tray and then they actually need to go in a warm spot for 15 minutes before we cook them for 15 minutes in 180 degrees. Okay. So we're now going to pop these in the warmed oven, which has now been turned off. We'll pop them in for 15 minutes and they'll rise slightly. Have been warming for 15 minutes and I'll just show you what they look like. They've started to sort of spread slightly and just rise a little bit, so we're going to pop them back in the oven for 15 minutes till they're golden brown at 200 degrees Celsius. Let these cool on the tray and then they're ready to be served up. So there's your apple scroll, 130 calories per serve versus 306 calories for a regular apple scroll. It's a long process, but I'm sure you find they're worth the wait.